The cat is out of the bag with Disney's latest Star Wars disaster, The Acolyte, with the first 2 episodes being released back-to-back on Disney+. Now, I say dumpster fire because if we look at the audience score, it is a whopping 26%. However, the average tomato meter from the critics is a 91%. So where does the truth lie? And who are the real liars? Is the show deserving of a 26%? Or is it deserving of something more, perhaps, positive? We're going to find out today in this brutally honest autopsy of The Acolyte, Season 1, Episode 2. And I won't hold back with this autopsy of The Acolyte. Let's do this. Episode 2 of The Acolyte begins with an establishing shot of the planet Olega. We come to a local Jedi temple. And now, I gotta say, I love how there's always some sort of alien or droid in the establishing shots in Star Wars. I don't know what he's pulling, but I guess this is just the community food transport or something because female Aladdin just straight up yoinks some shit here, like a true street urchin. I guess she's working for May as well, because she tosses the food at our gatekeeper droid so that it can expose itself so May can do this. She tosses a device of sorts onto the gatekeeper droid, and it opens the temple door. Now, none of this makes any sense. I'll tell you why. Why do you need the kid to steal fruit and throw it? Can't you just toss something with the Force at the rope? I don't know. Anyways, the droid's head clearly goes back into the hole before the device even opens the door. So did she even need to toss anything at the security droid in the first place? I don't know. Doesn't make sense. I feel like this is a very contrived way to get nostalgia points by dropping a member berry. Remember the door droid from, A New Hope? You have that. And I felt it was also a way to get like a Disney kid in the scene as well. You know, we got to make this show for kids. Now, May pays off Aladdin, so they were working together, and enters the temple. Apparently, there are 0 Jedi guarding the door to the Jedi temple. She sneaks right through like it's goddamn Zelda's castle in Ocarina of Time. She's seen clearly trying to sneak past these other 2 people. You know, she's being stealthy, yet 2 seconds later, she just walks right past this other woman inside the temple. What? She's got a mask. She's looking suspicious. She's looking sus. And yet, I don't know. Why does she have to sneak past these 2, but not this one? Doesn't make any sense. You could literally just take that person out of the shot and it would make sense. Why do you have to have her directly contradicting the plot logic within 10 seconds? I don't know. Doesn't make sense. She then walks in on a seemingly very powerful Jedi, Torben, who's meditating and floating in the air. He's in some sort of a trance-like state. There's a lore-based name for this, but I forget. He's basically asleep for what it's worth, and he's still able to fully defend himself with a literal impenetrable force field. This dude's like really powerful, okay? Now, my question is, if he's so powerful, he might be important. And if he's important, would there not be slightly more measures of security in place? IDK. I guess the Jedi are just really arrogant at this point in time. Who knows? I'm not sure what's going on with the hair and makeup on this dude. He's clearly poorly aged up. They actually cast the kid from Game of Thrones who played Tommen. Ironically, another character who ends up committing suicide. Sorry for the spoilers. That's what this video is. He also got killed in The King, Game of Thrones twice. He was actually cast as 2 different characters. He was also killed in 1917. So he plays characters that often kill themselves or die. I guess he's getting typecast. Now, May attempts everything and even does gymnastics. But can't penetrate the force field. She even pulls more knives out of her ass and does this. Now, conveniently, with perfect timing, at the end of all of her failed attempts, the Jedi discover the break-in, and she dips the fuck out like Batman. Of course, also conveniently, with perfect timing, there's an open moonlight window with no glass or barriers that would, make it impossible to escape the scene. I mean, this dude has been in a trance for 10 years, so when it rains here, I guess he just gets absolutely soaked. Or maybe the rain just falls around him with the force field. That would be pretty cool to see. Now I wish it was raining during the scene just for that effect. Let me direct these shows. I'd make it more interesting. Anyways, we cut to the Jedi ship with Osha and Jecki. Jecki struggles to make the ship work. I always hate these kind of scenes where they just bypass the compressor.
What'd you do?
I bypassed the compressor.
And the problem's fixed with a couple of button presses.
You could try repolarizing the power couplings. Thanks.
We then get a conversation between Sol and Yord. Sol thinks Osha is innocent and that May, her twin sister, is the killer, while Yord remains convinced that there is no twin and it was Agatha all along.
Who's been messing up everything?
I'm sorry, I mean Osha all along. Yord says something actually interesting here that I never thought about.
Let's say this twin theory holds true. They could be working together.
I feel like they aren't working together, but maybe at some point they will, and the dumb Jedi Yord will be proven as the smart Jedi with a character arc of sorts. Who knows? Now, Sol reinforces plot details here to the audience.
Osha has a twin sister.
Her name is May. She was presumed dead 16 years ago.
Cool. So now we cut to May walking into a shop on Olega, basically right across the street from the Jedi Temple. Everything is claustrophobic in this series. Everything's conveniently right next to each other. And you'll see that happen throughout this episode more and more. Just wait. It's going to get good. Now, she's seeking help from Chimere, who knows? We'll call him Q, okay? Or actually, we're going to call him Snape because he's like a potions master. So Snape Jr. It is. May walks up to Snape Jr. and Snape says,
Find his weakness.
He doesn't have one.
Everyone has a weakness.
because she's trying to kill Jedi, so he's going to help her find the weaknesses. May requests poison, and he's not too pleased with this as he questions her. But didn't he just say to find a weakness? And poison is, people have weaknesses for poison. That's all I'm going to say. Anyways, Snape Jr. says the Jedi justify their galactic dominance in the name of peace. The show doesn't show us that the Jedi are a dominating, overbearing, negative force in the world. I believe they're just assisting the galaxy in becoming peaceful. We don't get any illustration that the Jedi are a bad, overbearing force. So this doesn't really make sense. Isn't peace a good thing? And aren't they doing it correctly? We've not been shown any reason yet as to why we should believe that this is a maliciously earned or perverse use of the word peace by the Jedi. So this doesn't really hit home with the viewers in my eyes at all. Now, Snape Jr. says,
like every Jedi, he only thinks he's found peace. What he really needs is something only you can give him.
Torben hasn't found true peace, essentially because he's still living with his remorse. Apparently, he was involved in the incident that spurned May here into her path for vengeance. So he needs absolution or death, which could be the same thing, I guess. I don't know. May takes the poison and tells Snape,
It wouldn't bode well for either of us if you told him about this.
Referring to the mysterious red-sabered Sith Lord, Edgelord Master. Now, the more times they say the word him, I'm convinced we're getting a bait and switch with the Dark Master, and it's actually going to be a female or a non-binary or whatever else. It's going to be somebody else other than a him, which could be actually very interesting. I would actually enjoy some twists. So cool. Anyways, we now cut back to Osha and Sol asks, do you believe that May is responsible for Indara's murder, for Trinity's murder? Apparently, it's revealed that they both saw May die in the fire, and Sol really regrets not being able to save her, obviously, him being a good, Jedi Master, an altruistic guy. They talk about the lesson of accepting loss, and they bond over this memory before heading down to the planet. The Sol gang arrives at the temple from before, and in perfectly convenient timing, and definitely not contrived by the writer's fashion, we cut to May re-entering the Jedi Temple from the roof hole in broad daylight. Again, there is no Jedi security on Torben, and they still left the ceiling open despite this dude noticing that somebody could have escaped from the ceiling. They recently had a break-in, and they still have no security. I don't know. Are they not threatened by another attack? Jedi are dying throughout the world here now. Trinity is the first one. Wouldn't all the Jedi want to ramp up their security? What are we doing here, folks? Anyways, we cut back to Sol at the entrance interrogating a local Jedi, and then we get Hot Pie explaining that they caught young Aladdin before the gatekeeper droids failed.
But before the gatekeeper droids failed, they caught this little scoundrel messing about our port coast.
If we rewind to that first scene, this is obviously not even possible because we watched the girl run away into the shadows while the gatekeeper droid immediately failed. So how could they have caught her before the droids failed? I guess these are just filthy little lying Jedi, or big lying Jedi. My bad. Anyways, May speaks to Torben, telling him, I know why you took the Barash vow. Okay, that's what it's called. That's when you go into meditation and, you just fuck off. Now, May hints that he was heavily involved in her tragic past.
But your past still haunts you.
Obviously, all the Jedi she's after were involved somehow. Now, Sol requests to see his old friend Torben as May offers Torben an ominous choice. Now, Torben gets a whiff of some absolute top shelf Bunta juice, and he simply cannot resist as he floats down and says, "I've been waiting for you, May." Cool, whatever. Now, remember when I said it was an important detail that they cast the guy who played Tommen? Well, Torben unalives himself with the poison, and he's now typecast as a guy who dies or a kid who commits suicide. Really weird. If you need a suicidal white boy, I guess you know who to call. Lamau. Anyways, Torben, names are actually similar too. That's funny. Anyways, Torben takes the space poison, and Sol immediately senses a disturbance in the Force. I like this little detail. I like that, like disturbances in the Force and when they sense them. Anyways, what doesn't make sense here is the definitely not perfectly conveniently contrived timing as the Jedi walk into Torben's chamber mere seconds later. Everything is so close to each other and everything is so perfectly timed in this show. It's ridiculous. It's out of hand. It's like the season 8, season 7 Game of Thrones shit going on, but worse. Anyways, May has escaped, but she left a breadcrumb in the form of the poison vial. You dumbass. Anyways, this is so beyond stupid that she probably has to have done it on purpose for whatever reason. That's the only way my brain can headcanon this shit and make it justified. All right, moving forward. Now we get some definitely also not contrived drama as May slips away and gets to the scene before the Jedi do. And she's immediately accused of the murder, of course. Why the fuck would she do this? Why? You know you're under suspicion. Why would you need to sneak off? I know you were following your little sister, apparently, or whatever, but can't you just ignore that for a second and be a smart character? Wow, it doesn't matter because Yord makes his first smart move in the show.
She didn't do it. My sights were on her the entire time. I followed her when she broke off.
Good on you, Yord. I kind of, I'm starting to like him, despite his Anakin reference.
But if you can't look and see the Anakin blowing up the Death Star...
I want you to get out of this office right now. No way. You brought it on yourself. I don't want you here.
Oh, God, kill me.
In his interviews. We all know that one. Now, she's supposed to still be a suspect and potentially highly dangerous, so why do they just allow her to sneak off? Who's watching her? I guess it was Yord, but you gotta, I don't know. Maybe Yord's smart because he wanted to, let her go. Yord's a pretty smart guy because he wanted to let her go to see if she would do something malicious. So good guy, Yord. Good guy, Yord. Point for Yord. Yord points. We need a Yord points counter on the screen. Now, conveniently, the poison used was from Osha and May's home planet.
Bunta is a poison. My sister and I were taught to use it in hunting. If it's distilled, its effects don't last very long, so it had to have come from nearby.
Out of all the poisons and planets in a huge fucking galaxy. So Osha vomits some lore about this and is able to determine that the maker must be nearby because the poison has a very short half-life. However, take this into account. We live in a world where hyperspace, basically teleportation travel exists with ships. You can get from planet to planet in like 5 minutes. So the killer could have easily come from anywhere in the entire galaxy virtually, with this poison if he has a hyperdrive. Anyways, holy shit, the show is getting stupider every time they open their mouths. This could have been solved by having one of the local Jedi actually be fucking useful and identify the poison as a locally derived substance. Let's have Hot Pie here come up and be like, yeah, one time I was drinking Mountain Dew and it smelled really bad and it ended up being this. I'm being facetious here, but anyways, they could have just said that it was, they could have just made use of the local Jedi and been like, yeah, this is known to be a local substance. They didn't have to make it about May and Osha conveniently having this random poison on this other planet be from their home planet. It doesn't make sense. I think I just had a stroke. Holy shit. Again, we get more perfectly, definitely not contrived timing and positioning for our characters as they are able to spot both the apothecary and the poison maker right when they are discussing the origins of the poison. Again, everything in this show is just so perfectly convenient for no reason other than we need the episode to be 30 minutes so I can spend more on my paycheck, Leslie Hetland. So just turn your brain off, guys, because plot. Yeah, cool. They spot the poison maker and the Jedi Hot Pie explains,
That's not our regular guy. I don't know who that guy is.
So this guy just walks into a new apothecary and starts making his own shit. Did he murder? Did nobody notice that he murdered the other apothecary guy? What's going on with this? I don't know. Now, in true Yord fashion, he says something stupid here.
Friends of May.
Any suggestions?
We secure the perimeter. Jackie stays on lookout, and I will confront this imposter.
And is immediately one-upped by a Padawan girl.
Or we skip that, and she just talks to him.
I do like Daphne Keene, so whatever. They send May into the apothecary after she conveniently buys a purple shawl at a shop right next to the apothecary. So she gets an exactly almost identical costume to her sister right next to the apothecary. Do I even need to explain why this is contrived as fuck? I wish I had jokes for this, but I just don't care enough. Okay, so we're moving forward. Everything in this show is just right where people need it, exactly when they need it. Okay, Jesus Christ. It's like the costume department is next to the costume department from the set is in the show. Okay, May pulls the confession out of him as the Asian Snape says,
Wait. You killed Torben without the poison. He will be so pleased.
He will be so pleased. Again, instead of saying master, they say he. So I think this is going to be an obvious bait and switch, which I'm fine with. Anything that we can do to make this show more interesting, I'm down for. Now, Snape Jr. isn't fooled as he says,
You look exactly like her.
Yeah, they are twins. Well, the Jedi then head into the shop to confront the potion maker, and Yord pulls his saber. I love how Yord is just the first one to go slinging. He just loves his saber, dude. He's always the first one. Love it. You know what, Yord? I like you, dude. Yord points. Can we get a Yord points counter? Yeah. Good. Anyways, again, the word he is blatantly mentioned as Sol asks Snape, who is he? You know, they keep saying he, so it's good. It's in my mind. It's going to be a bait and switch. I'm telling you, come back to this video and comment when it actually happens. Okay. We then get a failed attempt at humor here.
Who is he?
I thought he was with you.
Whatever. Cool. Obviously, Sol is referring to the mysterious master, you absolute dumbass. Immediately, they cut to nighttime, and we're reminded that this is indeed Star Wars because Yord says,
I have a bad feeling about this.
And we also learned that May was supposedly responsible for killing her family in the fire when they were kids.
She killed my family.
So May's a real bad egg. She's a bad egg. Now Osha tells Sol she wants to kill 4 Jedi. She wants to kill you. Obviously, yeah, that's her goal. He reassures Osha and then heads out to confront May. Yord identifies May in the street. I'm not sure what May would be doing this whole day. Why didn't she just dip out? I don't know. Did she know that the Jedi she wanted to kill, Sol, would be here tonight somehow? I guess she can see the future. Now May throws a warning shot at his feet and then tries to kill him with some kung fu. It's insanely funny that she tried so confidently to land a kick, but it ends up just being 2 inches short, and Sol doesn't have to do anything. He just has to watch her be incompetent. Jokes aside, I do like the choreography. It's some of the best we've seen on Disney+. I'm going to try and give this show all the positives that I can give it, okay? Now, Sol asks May why she attacks with no weapon. I like how powerful they make Sol. He's a Jedi Master, so he's barely even trying here, and May is giving it everything she got, but she still can't win. I like that. Good job, show. Good job. We love our dude Sol here. Now, May realizes she can't pull it off without the daggers, so she goes to pull them out, but it's revealed that Sol has already stolen them. Good guy, Sol. Let's go. I like this. Sol tells May, you have misunderstood the Jedi arts. And he asks who trained her. May then does a pointless kickflip. Sorry, what? May then does a pointless front flip kick. I guess that is a kick flip or a flip kick. May does a pointless flip kick and misses terribly, of course. We then cut to a shot of Yord. He's like 30 feet above them on a balcony, and yet he's still using giant binoculars. What the fuck? Anyways, we cut to Osha, and she uses Pip to tap into the Jedi comms.
What's going on, Yord?
Sol is trying to find out who trained May.
Now, you're telling me that a 16-year-old girl with a random Pip droid can just hack the Jedi comms signal with one button? I'm telling you, this droid is a Mary Sue. Either that or the Jedi are running on 1996 internet protocols. I'm not sure what's going on here. God damn it. I don't know. I don't even know what to say. I'm looking for jokes in my head, but this show has made my brain feel empty. Anyways, we then get more nonsense as Yord tells Jecki
Sol is trying to find out who trained May.
That Sol is trying to find out who May's master is. This revelation makes Jecki say,
I'll turn on his comms.
I'll turn on the comms. Osha was tapping into comms that weren't even on yet. Now, this is also ridiculously stupid for two other reasons. A, why are they only just now turning on the comms? I thought Jackie was supposed to be the smart Padawan and they were supposed to be on a very important mission the whole time. Why are they waiting? They've had all day. Why do they just now turn on the comms? Is there a comms battery or something that I don't know. Now, B, if Yord can clearly hear everything already, then why do they even need the comms in the first place? What? You were all in like 25 feet. I guess they're on the ship. You're all pretty close to each other. So you either had to have the comms on already. Why are you just turning them on now? And B, Yord can clearly hear everything. So what? I don't know. My point B is kind of weak, but you get what I'm saying. Anyways, Sol uses a Jedi mind trick to read May's thoughts, but discovers that the master has hidden his identity very well, even from May. As Sol says, you couldn't even tell me if you wanted to. Sol mentions to May that even after all this time, she still thinks of her sister, but May responds with, my sister is dead. Well, no, she's not. So now my question is, who actually started this fire on May's home planet when she was a kid? Was it the Jedi who died, who killed himself? Was it Trinity? This mystery box is getting bigger by the second. J.J. Abrams would be knee-deep in the lotion by now when he's watching this show. I don't think he would watch the show, though, but he probably would be knee-deep in the lotion. May claims Sol is a liar and goes to pull another dagger. Why didn't she do this before when she apparently had no daggers left? I guess she has like infinite daggers whenever the plot needs her to have one. She's got another one. It's just funny. It's okay because Yord comes in clutch with the force pull.
You lie!
He speaks the truth.
Yord points. We need Yord points. He speaks the truth. Osha lives. So now the twins are both aware of each other. Sweet. Good plot progression here. I like that. May runs for an escape, but Yord clutches up twice now. Good guy, Yord. And we get the corniest moment ever.
In the name of the Galactic Son of the Republic,
You are under arrest.
It's like an episode of Galactic NCIS or some shit. Very CW vibe. They have her surrounded now, but May pulls a Batman. And she dips the fuck out with a force dust cloud. Awesome. I kind of like this. I do. I like this. All right, jokes aside, May hijacks a speeder like it's goddamn GTA 5, and right before she drives off, we get a confrontation between the two sisters. Awesome. Let's see what happens here. Okay, I'm seriously baffled at how she missed this goddamn shot. It's set to stun beam, and even stormtroopers have been known to be able to hit shots with these things. She's like 15 feet away, so she must have not really wanted to hit the shot to begin with. That's my theory. That's my headcanon. Apparently she does, though. She does want to hit the shot because she goes for another shot and again misses horribly because of plot. Either that or she's secretly playing up to both the camera and the other Jedi that she's on their side when she's actually a secret agent working with May. But that wouldn't make sense because May claims to never even know she existed. I don't know. Maybe they are working together. Maybe something's weird here. Anyways, let's move forward. Lady Shrek then lets Sol know there will be a council meeting about all of this. Of course, it's a bureaucracy. Now, Sol pushes back on this as he should. He says there's no time for chatting. There's not. Jedi are going to die. And that they know she's likely going to be headed for the remaining Jedi on her kill list. The Wookiee, Kalnaka, I believe. Vernestra says she doesn't agree and that we don't make decisions without conversation first. Could Vernestra be behind all of this if she doesn't want the Jedi to go find the assassin on the Wookiee planet? Is Lady Shrek the killer? Is Lady Shrek the suspect? Is Lady Shrek the edgelord? I don't know. Questions. I like this. I like that this show does make me think about that kind of shit, though. For what it's worth. Okay, positive points there. Anyways, if she's not a secret Sith Lord, the Jedi are stupid as fuck because you could just have Sol brief you, and then you can brief the council while Sol heads out, and you can immediately get back to him with a decision without wasting any time. Anyways, we cut to the next day where we see Hot Pie on a balcony. Apparently, all Jedi have shit eyesight because he's using binoculars from right across the street to keep a lookout on the potion maker. I don't know. Why don't you have him him in custody, or a patrolman posted right outside the shop and inside the shop. Again, the Jedi are so goddamn stupid, and why is Hot Pie the only one watching him? Now, Hot Pie gets distracted by Arya Stark, which allows May to perfectly conveniently sneak back to meet with the potion guy. Again, this is perfectly convenient timing, and there's no hints to insinuate that May hired this girl, okay? So that doesn't make any sense. I don't think she paid off Arya Stark. I guess Hot Pie is a shit Jedi and refuses to even glance over once during this convenient conversation with Arya. Now, May confronts Snape Jr. about selling her out to the Jedi. They mention that the Jedi are everywhere. Okay, then why are you fighting in broad daylight outside? Again, all it would take is one glance from Hot Pie and this scene is ruined. I mean, they kind of are hiding in a little nook, in a little doorway, but still, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? So far, May has known exactly what planet every Jedi has been on, but yet she still needs to have Snape point out where her next destination should be. I guess maybe he's been the one telling her all along. That's fine. But why does May have no clue about this? And how does the potion guy know? I'm not sure. It's not really clear. We don't know. Mystery box.
Who's that? We don't know. Mystery box.
My guess is that this dude has been giving her the locations for all the Jedi all along. He's probably someone more important in disguise. Okay. Now, Hot Pie exclaims he's gone. Very conveniently, right when the expository dialogue was finished. Again, everything in this show is perfectly timed by the writers and not by the characters themselves. It feels like writers controlling the plot like puppeteers, not the characters. We cut to Kofar, the Jedi Wookiees' forest planet, and we pan down to see two scavengers speaking in Huttese as they approach a crashed derelict ship. The Jedi Wookiee Kalnaka sneaks up behind them and scares them shitless. Apparently, this is where he lives. Kalnaka enters his makeshift home and the episode ends abruptly. So, guys, let's recap what happened here, okay? May makes a Jedi commit suicide. The Jedi almost capture May, and May fucks off to the Wookiee planet. That took $23 million to tell that story. It took $23 million to tell the story of an assassin kills someone, gets confronted, and leaves. 2 out of 10 episode for me. 2 out of 10. I'm understanding the rating now, and I have an empty brain. The Acolyte episode 2 gave me a lobotomy, and that's all I have to say. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. No, I'm not gonna cry. I don't care about the quality of Star Wars anymore. I just enjoy laughing at it and watching the old stuff, even like Rogue One. You know, even in those times, those were brighter days. So I'm gonna go watch Force Awakens, because that movie's fun, even though it's kind of bad. At least that movie is way more fun than this. And I'm gonna have a beer. Anyways, I love you guys 3000. This has been Stark Cinema, an autopsy, a breakdown of The Acolyte episode 2. Come back next time for episode 3. Like, subscribe, comment, and stay tuned for more content. I love you 3000.